Alrighty folks, just done a little bit of cleanup in the shop, nothing major. I still need to find myself a scrap car to go start putting a bunch of scrap in. Kind of just mocking up my fenders to see how everything looks. I'm liking it, looks like it's gonna work. I managed to straighten out one of these dash pieces, so that's a win. And it just test fit my dash. The goal in the big picture is like I gotta have speedo, we'll have temp, oil, and then I'll gut this somehow and put a fuel gauge in there, but yeah. Anyways, the plan for right now anyways is to build this last bit of the floor I gotta do here, and then we'll be able to pull the body off and start in the back. I wanna get that part made up and then go through a whole lot of welding. I wanna do a bunch of welding. I would like to get to these fenders, but we'll see where we get here. That I think is going to take a schlum of time. I'm kind of waiting. A buddy's supposed to get me this slave cylinder that came with this transmission, but I haven't got it yet, so I think it's still stuck in his truck. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's the plan. First things first, this should be pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to make it a little bit taller so I can trim it when the body's off. I want to just zap it above everywhere that I need to go so I can actually get all the bolts in, and then well, I'll mark it so I know, but like we're just gonna go half a finger over everywhere. That'll be plenty. So this is good. This is probably over uppity, so we'll have to almost bend this back down and then we can get onto this part. I kind of plan to just match it straight up and then we'll just weld it directly onto there. It's kind of my plan. I did test fit the header. It's in there. It's a little, it rubs, but we'll see. Just because the pedal doesn't actually go anywhere in that vicinity, I could raise that out a bit. I might do that actually. This one's got lots of room, so that one's fine. That one, I think, if I blister it out, we should be okay. I'll do the tunnel part up to it, and then I can fix that part after. We can pry and poke at it and do whatever we got to do. But it should be pretty straightforward just to finish this little bit. Like I say, there's just a lot of things that need to be cut and done, but it'll be nice when I get the actual body off to get at all the little bits that I can't reach. Anyways, on that note, let's get started. I kind of threw in a pedal just to mock things up, but we got everything tacked into place, so I'm pretty happy the way that's all set up. It has actually been a while since I've last worked on this, but we're very close to pulling the body off, and then I can kind of work fixing up stuff. Get this all welded up, get this trimmed away, you know, things like that. I did test fit a gas pedal, but this one I bought at a swap meet years ago, but it's kind of like stripped out inside, so I'm probably not using this, but I might, well, maybe I'll use it, but I'm going to modify it to do stuff. What do we got? We got a rad. So basically I had the swap meet. I got a few things there, things I may or may not use on here, I don't know yet. I found a set of bear claw latches at the swap meet, so whether it goes on this car or not, I don't know, but that part is cool. What did I get? I got my fuel rails for my intake that I got to modify and work. I found this little rad at the swap meet, and it looks so close like it's gonna work. I don't know how well it's gonna cool, but it fits in the package that I want with a little bit of modifying. Got to do that. I got to switch the necks around because, well, when the water pump's on anyways, it's out in that vicinity. And then, well, the upper one doesn't really matter, but it's technically same side. So, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I was going to modify a few things. We'll probably put a filler. I don't know if I'll put a cap on top. I don't know, because I have a bunch of bad brads. So, well, bad brads that I've cut up. So I'll have like a top filler neck, like right there, that I can use, things like that. So might be a win. How well it'll cool, that's unknown as of yet, but got a whole lot of my Rock Auto stuff and other things. I have so many e-brake cables, I don't know what's going on, but it's because I bought some for this car and some for that Dodge outside, that purple one. So I have that. We got our front brake lines. Don't know if I talked about this before, but I got my shocks. We got a bajillion Heim joints, so I think we're in the zone for that. I think the kid was wrecking a car, had these weird manifolds. I really wanted them, so I guess he took them off because they were sitting on my bench, or they came from somewhere, I don't know. Maybe I found them, I don't remember. Doesn't help my steering cause whatsoever, so I won't worry too much about it, but yeah, we're still working on this dilemma. It's like, man, it's so close. Anyways, that's minor, not a big deal. I know somebody was mentioning to ditch this one and do an a clutch like inside the transmission, so I don't know. I really didn't want to do it, but I think it's just going to make life so much easier if I go that route. Boy, eh? I seen a set of like block huggers that people talk about, but they really, it's the same as this, and it's got more stuff in the way yet. So I didn't even opt to buy one, because when I looked at them at the swap meet, there was somebody that had a set of these, and they had a set of like ram horn style, like that went down into the center, and it, if anything, it made it worse for me. So yeah, we're a little hooped. We might be building some custom headers, but not a big deal. But where are we at? It has been a few weeks, because, you know, like I say, I just got back from a road trip a little while ago. I've been trying to finish up Esther's car, so I've been spending a little while doing that. You guys don't know any of that, but I've been dancing around with everything. I have this little dilemma in the back with that mono spring. It's bugging me, is the fact the car is just sitting naturally sacked out to one side, and that's irking me like crazy. I did find another set of coilovers at the swap meet, I'm trying to refrain from doing it because that spring is going to be fine in the back. It's just this thing, I don't know why. I always have this issue kind of thing with these things where you get this little bit of a buggy something. I just, when I put weight or I sit in it, I'm worried it's just going to naturally sit sprung over to one side too much. And it's just going to look like a dude sitting in there all the time when there is nobody in there. So I looked at the original sway bar and I figured I'd put a sway bar in and that would probably fix that problem. I don't care if I'm driving in and it does that, but I'd rather it stay level all the time, if you know what I mean. So anyways, this is the stock one that came off that S10. I've tried finagling it any which way. It doesn't work. I'm going to wander around the yard for a little bit here and see if I have something with a sway bar. I know Speedway sells universal ones, so it might be the option I go, along with maybe some kind of an exhaust kit or do something. I don't know yet. Yeah, we're kind of just playing this by ear at the moment. Anyways, regardless, the body's got to come off. So I've been doing some random cleanup around here because I think it's strong enough that I can take it off, set it on a bench. Well, no, I need to do some of it in the air, but yeah. Well, I got the body off. We threw it on one of these scissor lift tables. I put some jack stands under it so I can kind of weasel around underneath there a little bit. I did take this spring off, spin it around, see if it was something with that, but the more I look at it, it just looks like I didn't set the shackle. Like, they look right. I just feel they're supposed to be a little more, well, I don't even know. I guess they're okay. I feel like I have it off. I feel like they should be, you know, no weight on it. They should be parallel. See how it's kind of, one's a little bit different than the other one. When there's weight on it, it fixes it, but then I think it just makes it worse. I think. I'm not really sure here, but I feel when there's no load on it, those shackles should almost be straight. Like I almost had to stretch the spring to get it in there. So I won't look at it right now because of course I didn't fully weld it, but it's overly welded. So we'll have to break those welds. I should just measure this to what it should be, like where my shackles are, and then actually move everything, get it centered. I think I still want to put a sway bar in. Looks like I can get away with it here, down here. If I kind of run it, you know, make a mount in the back, it just clears the diff all right. It's not a very heavy duty sway bar, but it's good enough for what it is here. I can bring it up on the chassis so it'll stick outside. So I'll probably do some heims with a turnbuckle like here, and I'll probably make a mount up here. That way I can kind of adjust the sway bar, and in case the body does do this, I can just use the sway bar to push everything straight. Other than that, I'm not going to mess too much with this because this is just about, in my eyes, we're getting close to breaking it down and actually fully welding everything. The stuff I have to do in the front frame horns yet, I want to do those like the Model A style, finish that out. But anyways, the plan for now, first things first, I want to finish the back of the car here in this tub, get that thing closed off to what I think it should be. Man, do I go straight back? Nah, we can do fuel tankish stuff in there. Kind of hard. I got the kid to pull me some sending units from some cars he was wrecking. Sending unit, yeah, like sending unit, fuel pump, hats, everything. They're all from Blazers, or not Blazers, but like Escalades or something like that. Anyways, the pumps are actually pretty small. They're not very deep like the Silverado. This is my organization before it gets out to the shed here. We're gonna set one up just so we can start stuff on the floor. Anyways, where's the one? The one is right there. I must dig this out. I got to calculate to see how big of a fuel tank I'll get. See how this is nice and tiny? But I don't know if that gets me a very big fuel tank. I don't know if that'll be very enjoyable to drive around with that motor set up and a very teeny tiny tank. Ugh. Whoa, this thing rolls like phenomenal. Anyways, I'll set that there. Okay. I can't actually see that. I like the idea, but I don't know if that's a very big tank. I mean, I can go, well, I can't go up really because there's no point. It's not going to grab the fuel. You know what I mean? But if we set it up that way, it wouldn't take up a lot of space in the back of the car. I just got to figure out how big of a fuel tank would that be. I think I need the sending unit out of a Silverado because they do sit quite a bit deeper. Then I could make the tank quite a bit taller up here. Because right now I can roll this, follow this body line, but I'm only going to go between these mounts. So I'll do the math on it and I'll let you know here in a second. All right, calculates out to whatever I have the dimensions, and the depth of that sending unit is like only 30 liters. So I'm 30 liters, what is that, 7.5 gallons or something like that? So not ideal. So we're gonna come up with something else. But for now, I am going to try to finish that. I don't know if we're going to just set up a bigger tank in the back. Probably what we're going to do, just some kind of a wedge tank. Thinking I'll just square this thing out and be done. Or can I do it from underneath? No, I won't. We're going to wedge it out into the back. We'll close this in, and we'll end up doing the tank on top, or a spun tank, or I don't know, something. We'll figure it out. That's a ways down the road, but I basically got to get that thing we're just going to make a simple wedge that's just going to close that up. And then I want to come back in here. You can see my overlaps. I want to get rid of a bunch of this material that doesn't need to be in there. Get that closer to like a butt weld kind of a deal. And yeah, finish up welding inside of here. At least get that done. We'll lift it up, and then I'll try to blitz a bunch of holes into everything here where all the body mounts are supposed to go, so at least I can always get it back in the same place it's supposed to go. Well, there's been lots of welding happening here. We got the back piece tacked in. Well, it's a little aggressively tacked in. I don't know how much more I'm going to weld. It is the floor. In the past, I've just over welded everything. And well, you can see, I kind of tend to fully stitch everything. So I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I'll probably keep the trend going, I guess. Sometimes on the floor, I like to just spot it, but maybe within a ½ inch of itself. So that might be good because I can seam seal. We kind of got here. I went a little bit. It's kind of a little more popcorn weld up on top, but that's not that big of a deal. The idea is some of these spots were a little, there's a gap. I kind of want to just grind it, kind of bang it out a little bit. I don't know, get it a little bit straighter here. And then I was actually just going to hit it with the laser. I think I'm going to do the same with the fenders. We'll kind of just do the old laser dealio on it. I want to trim the excess away. So inside we've got this seam. I kind of welded it fully inside, so the fender is one with the body now. It is not coming off. With that said, I'll probably just like splooge a little seam sealer, kind of something paintable seam sealer on the outside. In here you can kind of see our tubs are nothing fancy, but once this is done I'll be able to trim away the excess stuff. I'm gonna buzz this up pretty solid because I want this sealed from the inside out. So I got to get rid of the excess metal, because you can see there's a lot of overhang here, and once I know what I'm doing more, so we'll get rid of what we don't want. This side was just way more holy because I was like really bad at cutting stuff up with my zip cut before, so the way back. So you can see it's kind of like gone filled through, but it's not very good, nice welds in my eyes. So there is some damage here, so I just want to grind, get this kind of clean. Probably hindsight, I should have like banged that out before, but we'll see how it goes. Here it comes down. This is kind of okay and not great. I don't know. We're gonna have to make some kind of a filler going through here. I don't know how I want to finish this car, honestly, when it's all said and done. So yeah, we got to get into there, weld that all up. I think I got this side pretty good. Yeah, like it's pretty good there. It needs some more weld around there and that whatnot, but we're getting there slowly. Next thing I want to do is, I kind of boboed with this. Yeah, it's too much work to fix this. So what I'm going to do is, you can see there's quite a gap, and my intention was this is supposed to go further in, and I did have this tighter, but I guess when I put the panel in, things just didn't line up the way they should have. Anyways, we'll kind of fix these gaps a little bit. Like, all I'm going to do is go in there with a round hammer, and we're just going to beat the edge of this thing silly, and hopefully we can join these a little bit tighter, nicer, a little bit better, that we can at least kind of bridge it, weld it, and then after we'll be able to seal it up. We're probably just going to seal everything. I don't know how I want to finish this. This car might get a carpet, but I'm not sure. I'm almost thinking I want to do steel or maybe aluminum panels. I don't really know yet. I weirdly want to try to drive this in the winter, so I want to get it sealed up pretty tight. It's probably completely impractical, and that'll only last a couple drives, and then I'll be kind of over it, but you never know. I'm a bit of a weirdo, so this might happen yet. Anyways, I'm going to keep plugging away welding. I'm not going to get to the patches just yet. I think I'm just going to focus on getting the floor done. If that's all done, welded up, we do have to come back into here and get this all welded up. I kind of like banged up everything, got this kind of transition pretty smooth. We're going to stitch it, and then we'll end up seam sealing everything, so that'll be fine. Here's where I got to trim, because you can see where the spot welds are up high here. So in here, I'm going to cut this back so that this can get welded together, and then inside somewhere we got to do a whole lot of welding yet, because up here this goes, but I have, you can see where my finger goes, got a little bit of a lip. So I want to put a lip down that I can put a couple bolts in there so that this cowl section can still come off if I needed to for some reason. That'd be just, I don't know, just some kind of a serviceability thing. I don't know why it needs to, honestly. I keep saying that, but whatever. We'll make that lip, get that thing in here where it's supposed to go, and then yeah, we'll make that little lip, tack it, and then we can just drill it and kind of bolt it, because this is all going to bolt together after. All right, blabber enough. Let's continue with some more welding. Well, I ran out of seam sealer, so I can't do much more. I really wanted to just seam seal. Actually, I could have probably done the top and the bottom side, but we got pretty much all of this done here. I got to get into the back part there, but I might seam that from the, just like I'd like to do both sides personally, but yeah, I'm just out. I don't want to touch anything in the tubs here yet until I actually finish welding and do some patches and stuff. Then we'll kind of paint that thing with some seam sealer as well. Up front, it's pretty hard on one of these things to get them like pretty airtight because there's so many weird nooks and gaps the way things get bolted together. So I think when the big picture, when it's done, I guess a fella could weld this. I'll probably just seam this edge and this edge. But we got to do, like I say, a bunch of patchwork here still. Here, here, here. This needs to get welded, finished. We're definitely not going for like a super nice finish on this thing. I'm debating whether I'll actually do some paint on it, but this is my brain thought on it is going to be whatever happens in a week is done. And then we just prime it and paint it. That's kind of my thought. But we'll see where we get. We still got a lot to do. Still want to whack the top yet, but I want to get a lot of all this stuff and get the mechanical things kind of working. And then the top is pretty low on the priority list, but I do have to find a few things. Like up here, we got, I don't know, I have to see. I know I'm missing something into here. I think it's some wood. I have one drip rail, but I'm missing the other one. So I don't really know how I want to finish that. Whether I'll make this or what I'm going to do. There's just a lot of wood things that need to get redone. So, well, I don't know if they need to get redone. I might just put some steel in there just to make it stronger, but I think there's like some weirdness up here that I don't remember how it all goes. So, anyways, I don't know. I didn't feel like I got a lot done, but this has actually been over since like we've been on holidays, did everything. So trying to get back into the grooves, kind of taking a bit. So the chassis, I'm thinking what I got to do is I'm going to like pop these mounts off. I'm going to redo them. We're going to get the spring out a little better. I'm going to tweak some things. I think something's just not right with it. I don't know. Things look right, but I don't know if something's... If I put something in crooked, I don't really know right now. All I know is this side sits down. I got to bring it up to bring that spring up. I don't know. We'll think about that later. For the most part, I think I got to pop those mounts off. We take the weight off. I got to just do the measurements. We'll get this spring sitting about where it's supposed to. And I think for some reason, this one arm is just a hair bit down. So it might be making what's the crookedness that's happening. Because it just doesn't look like it's got the same angle as that one. So clearly I goofed. I got to fix my problem. I still would like to put a sway bar on. So I did get some links and do... Well, I got that sway bar. I would like to make a mount. But I got some link ends so I can adjust and do stuff in the back. I got some of these anyways. So I feel like I'd like to have that in the back. Just make everything better. I was talking to some buddies and they were just saying, yeah, that's probably not a good way to fix it, like to correct anything I have going on. Because over time the sway bar will just like lose its sway. So that's like a crappy band-aid. So I guess I gotta try to find the right way to fix it. But I think, like I say, next round I want to get into this rust stuff. We'll get that sorted out. I don't know that I'll touch doors. I think we're just going to hit the body here, get these couple little, they're very simple patches and there's really nothing going on. So that should be pretty simple. Get that welded, get these fenders done. I'd like to head back onto this chassis and actually kind of pretty much get it stripped down. Because, well, the steering would be nice to figure out. Man alive, that's the problem. So yeah, I don't know. We'll test. We'll have to figure it out. I know this doesn't work. These other manifolds work better. We're still on it. We're still working on that. But anyways, I'm just rambling on here. I'm thinking that's about where we're gonna leave this one. I gotta get some more seam sealers so I can kind of keep finishing up that thing. So at least it's sealed up. I don't know. Some people always have different ways of doing that. They like it to be primered or epoxy. They say it's wrong to put it on bare steel. I was always taught to do it that way. I've never had a problem, and I've driven my junk in the winter and everything else, and that's never come back and bit me. So I don't know. I'll just keep doing what I do. It works. Okay. Anyways, folks, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one where we're going to be back doing some more Model A stuff. And you can see over here, we started moving some stuff, so I'm making some room. Eventually I'm going to get something else moved into here yet. And then we're doing a little bit of maintenance on that truck after our road trip. That thing needs a little bit of loving. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later. Hi, buddy.
Pretty happy. Put the AC.